We'll call to order the regular city council meeting for Monday, February 2nd, 2015. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Sir, did you come in to give the invocation? No, okay, good, just to observe. Not to put you on the spot, we just didn't have one today. Okay, would you call the roll, please?
Mayor Greer.
Here.
Council members Ekstrom,
Here.
Ketchmar,
Here.
Bates,
Here.
Weed,
Here.
and Frida. Here. We have a quorum.
Next is approval of the minutes from the January 20th regular city council meeting and the January 21st Public Works Committee meeting. Are there any corrections? May I have a motion, please? Councilman Bates.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I make a recommendation. We approve the January 20th, 2015 regular city council meeting and the January 21st, 2015 Public Works Committee meeting.
Second.
Second from Councilman Ketchmar. Call the roll.
Councilmember Bates.
Aye.
Councilmember Ketchmar.
Aye.
Councilmember Frida.
Aye.
Councilmember Weed.
Aye.
Councilmember Ekstrom.
Aye.
Approved by unanimous vote.
Are there any council member announcements? Councilman Bates.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, we have a general government committee meeting Wednesday, February 4th at 4 o'clock.
Any others? All right, next we'll go to the adoption of the agenda and the consent agenda. Doug, will you review the consent agenda items, please?
Sure. The first item on the consent agenda is resolution number 2 of 2015. This is an item that was reviewed and recommended at the January 21st Public Works Committee, which would declare the City Council support for a proposed bill that is being planned to introduce into the General Assembly, the State General Assembly this year, which would adopt legislation exempting publicly owned regional stormwater management facilities from the administration guidelines and curtailment by the Colorado Division of Water Resources. So this could be an important step for our future. The second item is to declare 2 laptops as surplus property. Again, this was recommended at the January 21st, 2015 Public Works Committee. These 2 laptops no longer have value to the city operations and would be transferred to the Fremont RE1 School District in accordance with the city's purchasing policy. Next item is to extend a bid. This was bid number 34 of 13 for septic tank and toilet pumping. This would be to Twin Enviro Penrose in the amount not to exceed $3,600. This item was reviewed and recommended at the January 21st Public Works Committee, and this is for the annual pumping services for the restrooms that are within the city parks. Next item is to extend a bid, and this bid was 35 of 13 for solid waste disposable service, and this would be to Twin Enviro of Penrose, Colorado, in the amount not to exceed $9,000. Again, this was reviewed and recommended at the January 21st Public Works Committee. This is for the annual rubbish that's taken to the landfill for the Parks Department. Next item is again to extend bid 51 of 13 for solid waste and recycling removal services, and this again is to Twin Enviro of Penrose, Colorado, for an amount not to exceed $3,800. This was reviewed and recommended at the January 21st Public Works Committee, and this is for the annual trash removal and recycling services at various city-owned locations. Next item is to extend bid number 10 of 14. This is for lawn maintenance services to B&G Construction of Penrose, Colorado, an amount not to exceed $20,550. This is recommended at the January 21st Public Works Committee, and this is for lawn services at various city-owned properties. Last item was the extending of bid number 80 of 2010, and this is for annual traffic control signs. This is to Lyle Signs Incorporated of Jamestown, North Dakota, in an amount not to exceed $32,000. This is something we typically do every year. This was reviewed and recommended at our January 21st Public Works Committee. And this is for the annual purchase of traffic control signs, traffic control marking materials that go on the pavement to replace signs throughout the city. This vendor, again, is going to hold the 2010 pricing. So a lot of these extensions are to ensure that we're able to extend pricings from past years. And then lastly is our list of bills for the past two-week period.
Thanks, Doug. I think, Council, that we should add an item to declare District 2 vacant and establish the process for selecting a replacement for Councilman Ditmore. I would recommend that we put that in the agenda after the administrator's report, name it number 5A, and then item number 6 is going to be the appointment of the mayor pro tem. So I will take a motion. Councilman Bates.
I make a motion, we put item 5A, filling of District 2 seat.
Declaring a vacancy and
Yeah.
establishing the process. Okay.
I'll second that.
Second by Councilman Ketchmark. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Councilmember Bates?
Aye.
Councilmember Ketchmar?
Aye.
Councilmember Ekstrom?
Aye.
Councilmember Frida?
Aye.
Councilmember Weed?
Aye.
Approved by unanimous vote.
Thank you. Next is the administrator's report. We didn't
You
approve the consent
you
agenda.
skipped a step.
Oh, I did.
You approved the agenda and consent agenda with the addition of 5A.
We did?
We did?
I think we just.
I thought we
I
just
think we just
added
approved to add
5A.
this to
We
the
haven't
agenda.
approved the agenda yet, we just
Yeah.
approved the addition of
The
5.
additional, okay. Could have done it the other way.
Councilman Bates.
Mr. Mayor, I make a recommendation, we approve the agenda and consent agenda as so written and amended with 5A.
As amended with 5A.
Second.
Second from Councilman Weed. Discussion. Call the roll.
Councilmember Bates?
Aye.
Councilmember Weed?
Aye.
Councilmember Frida?
Aye.
Councilmember Ketchmar?
Aye.
Councilmember Ekstrom?
Aye.
Approved by unanimous vote.
Now we'll go to the administrator's report.
A couple quick items tonight. Number one, just to give you an update on the Royal Gorge Park lease. Just for background, for anyone that may have an interest, in 2012, the Royal Gorge Bridge Company paid to the city an amount of $1,681,000 as part of our lease payment from the admissions and concessions up at the park. In 2013, as you all know, that was the year of the fire. The park closed down for a good part of the year. The lease requirements establish a provision for calculating the lease in case the revenue drops. And that year, the city received $1.34 million. In 2014, we were expecting a payment of essentially $1.17 million. The bridge company came forward with a payment that was actually about $99,000 less than that. Staff met with them, as the council is aware, and had a conversation with them. They had a misinterpretation of the lease payment schedule, sort of an innocent misunderstanding there, I think, from all of our conversations. They were more than willing to come forward with that additional $99,000. Well, in addition to that, just to kind of update you, the bridge company also came in and actually decided to increase the 2014 payment, and that payment then would be a total of $1.34 million instead of the $1.17. So they actually added an additional, $169,000 on top of that payment. So certainly that was good news for us. The next item, just to kind of update everyone, and I think that we mentioned this before, the library is kind of rounding down in its construction renovation project, and they are going to have sort of a grand reopening of the library starting on First Friday here in February. So that's February 6th as part of the downtown First Friday celebration. They are going to be putting the new time capsule back in the Cornerstone that evening. They'll be starting at 5:30, so we hope everyone will come out at 5:30 for that event. And the library will be open. The doors will be open so people can go in and kind of tour all the renovation work and see what was done. In addition to that, they will have a display table there at the library that will show the contents of the time capsule that we took out a while back. And so hopefully all that will be a nice celebration and people can kind of come down and see how it all turned out. Next item is just kind of review of the annual building activity in the community for 2014. Council has all of that in their packet. I won't get into that in too much detail, but the keys here are, as you can probably see, the number of permits were down about 13 to 14% in 2014 as compared to 2013. 13 was 514 permits. That dropped to 443 permits in 2014. But the interesting thing is that the valuations went from about 15 million in 2013, dropping almost in half to 7.8 million in 2014. And we saw certainly a lot of the miscellaneous kinds of permits, roofing permits, fencing permits, all those kinds of permits dropped in terms of the numbers, even though the valuation of those went up. But what we did see is a significant reduction in valuation related to commercial additions and repairs and so on. So that was a big part of the drop. We had some good commercial projects in 13, dropped off in 14. So hopefully we'll begin to see the effects of the economic incentive program that the council has put together. We're already seeing some interest in that, and hopefully we'll see some of those things pick up in 2015. So again, as you can see there, our revenues were down about 50%. Use tax collected down about 34%. So hopefully we see some improvements in 2015. So that's it for tonight.
Thanks, Doug. Next, we'll move on to 5A, which is declaring District 2 council seat vacancy and establishing the process to appoint a replacement. So I need a motion. Councilman Weed.
I make a motion to declare a vacancy for the District 2 council seat and to establish the process for filling it.
Second.
Second from Councilman Bates. Discussion?
Well, I guess, let's see, in the District, which one? One
District
that's
1.
currently open. What's the deadline for applications? I thought I saw in the paper February 28th.
27th. This is a
27th.
Friday,
That's
yeah.
about 3 months, a 3-month window.
Your first one, I think, was, 30 days or something to that effect, and then you extended it
Right.
beyond that.
And so I guess my sense on this would be let's do it for 30 days the first time and see if we get applications, because I'd like to go ahead and fill the seat as soon as we could. But I don't know. I'm open to suggestions. Or I guess I'd just say what is this? This is so our first council meeting, make the date the first council meeting, or
Friday,
the
probably
Friday prior to the first council meeting in March.
We have February, we're on February 2nd, so if you go 30 days, you're looking at
March 2nd,
March
2nd.
2nd, 28 days. I mean, as far as publishing, I'm not going to get it in today.
Yeah.
It's probably going to go in Saturday,
Okay.
somewhere.
What day's
around
the second on?
Monday.
It's the first meeting.
So you'd be publishing it probably till March 6th. There's a Friday, March 6th. Would give you probably 30 days. And the second meeting in March is the 16th. You probably would be looking at a March 9th to interview the District 1 candidates.
Okay.
So you could do maybe a March 23rd,
March
an off
9th,
Monday.
and then another, sure, so March 9th.
March 9th for the-
For interviewing the District 1 candidate, and then 2 weeks after that, we do the March 23rd.
So I could go ahead and give them till March 13th.
Yeah, Colby's obviously.
Yeah, I'd like to chime in on that. Is there a possibility that we could pull it together where we could interview all candidates for both seats? I mean, we had the holidays, which I think kind of, slowed down the whole process of Councilman Maloney's seat. But if we could expedite it possibly to where we got both seats filled on one sitting
Well, I
of the
think,
interviews.
Colby, our first meeting is March 2nd, and the deadline on this one's going to be March 6th. If we set the special meeting for March 9th, Monday, March 9th, then we probably could discuss both seats, couldn't we?
We could, if you just need to guide me, that if I receive 2 by March 6th, would you interview 2, or would you go back out? I just need some direction far as, on the District 1, you received 2 and you went back out for 2 months. What if you receive 3? I just need to know what the agenda on the 6th, on the 9th would be.
Well, I think Dennis's motion last meeting or the meeting before was that we could still reserve to choose none of the above. But
Right.
from expediency issues, I would like to sit and fill both seats in one meeting if that's a possibility.
Kerr?
Yeah,
Say you
I
concur?
agree as well.
And the published notice should indicate once again that council reserves the right to reject any and all applications or applicants.
Would you want to put any sort of limitation on this District 2 seat if you only receive 2 candidates at that time, like we did in District 1?
Well, I think the none of the above would potentially, if at that point we felt like the qualifications weren't being met, we could push it further out, but.
Well, and I think that the bigger issue that we had with the District 1 seat is that it ran into the holiday period. And I think there was maybe the possibility that people who may have been interested were preoccupied with other things, or I don't think that'll be a situation there. I mean, there's no major holidays between now and then.
Where are we with District 1?
We have received 4 letters of interest. I just want to know my direction is to go ahead and publish till this, and have the deadline as March 6th. And if we have any candidates, go ahead and have that slate on the 9th.
Yeah, I
Interviews on
agree.
the 9th.
So both seats could be filled potentially on the 9th, but neither
Has to be
necessarily
filled.
has to be.
Yeah.
Go along with that.
Go along with that.
Should I remake a motion?
Yeah, let's clarify the motion.
You declared the vacancy, so we just need to say what the process is going to be, the motion.
Okay, the process will be to post accept applications for the vacant District 2 seat until March 6th, and then hold interviews on March 9th for both the District 1 and the District 2 seats.
I'll second that.
With the caveat,
With the caveat that we reserve the right to accept none and extend the process.
is that okay with the second?
Yep.
Okay.
Now, I'm not sure we voted on declaring the vacancy. If we didn't, we should add that
I
in.
think he did. He combined the 2. So he declared
He
the
dec-
vacancy and.
No, he declared the vacancy, yeah.
He made a motion to declare the vacancy and set the process, which he just described, both in one motion.
Okay.
And the second,
And the vote will be to do both things.
Yes.
All right.
Member Weed with the motion and Councilmember Bates seconded.
Yes. Any discussion on the motion? Call the roll.
Member Weed.
Aye.
Councilmember Bates.
Aye.
Councilmember Ketchmark.
Aye.
Councilmember Frida.
Aye.
Councilmember Ekstrom.
Aye.
Approved by unanimous vote.
On to item number 6, which is the appointment of the mayor pro tem. So let me first ask, is there anyone on the council that's interested?
Let Dennis have it.
Councilman Weed? And I think Councilman Bates is interested in Councilman Weed. Any others? Councilman Ketchmark?
Is it time to make a motion?
Is there anyone else interested? Make motion.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of council. I would like to make a motion to appoint Councilman Weed as the mayor pro tem.
Second.
Second from Councilman Bates. Discussion on this motion.
I think he's qualified.
Any other discussion? Call the roll.
Councilmember Ketchmark.
Aye.
Councilmember Bates.
Aye.
Councilmember Ekstrom.
Aye.
Councilmember Frida.
Aye.
Councilmember Weed.
I'll abstain. I can't. Aye.
Not unless we give you permission.
Oh, sorry.
I should have started out with you to see, make sure you're.
Mayor, I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
If we get these other two seats filled, is there an opportunity, if someone was maybe more interested, to shift the mayor pro tem to a different person? Is that a potential?
I don't think there's anything that would preclude that, is there?
Well, I think if you
Step
appoint a mayor pro tem tonight, it's for the balance of the term that Councilmember Ditmore was serving. That'd be 11 months. So I think your selection, absent some reason to change, should be for an 11-month balance of the term.
Okay, well, thank you for the clarification. That's fine.
Okay. Next is citizens' request to speak to city council.
Received no written request to speak to council.
We're adjourned.
Right.